So here we are in the solar shed, and I kind of wanted to show get everything in the frame there. There we go. All right. So I was looking back at my first solar shed video, and it was from 2014. I believe the month was September, and I never did another video on it. So. Wow, it's been running ever since then. I haven't been using it. I wanted it to start getting practical use out of the power, doing things like charging my Ryobi batteries and whatnot, and that kind of fell apart. I bought one of those chargers that you can that's meant to work off of 12 volts, and for some reason or another, it wasn't working off this system as well as running an inverter into a 110 one. I don't know why that is. Maybe I'll start learning how to figure that out now. But anyway, and then it got cold, and then a shiny object appeared, and my attention diverted, and so this whole system back here has just been used to run lights, which I use. I have a little archery target in here, and so I can open up the door at night, turn the light on it, and shoot. So, hey, that was pretty good use. Anyway, so now this will be the second in the Solar Shed series and the third in the Hantek Oscilloscope series. So there you go. Cool. Now, I previously had the solar panel mounted on this wheeled table that I would chase the sun with, and I gave up on that. And I did some reading where people were saying, the difference in catching direct sun and indirect is not as much as people want to make it out to be. So, and also the fact that it was in danger of getting run over by the lawnmower more times than I, would like to admit. So I, for safety's sake, I went ahead and just mounted the thing on the roof of the shed, even though it's not anywhere near an optimal configuration in terms of staying out of the shade or tracking the sun or anything. But anyway, the sun's going down now, so we are definitely in shade. I've got the, this is just running on the laptop battery. I'm not connected anywhere. So I just have this one light on, which I showed before 3 years ago. One of these LED lamps, and I gotta say, they don't draw that much power by themselves. See, the battery's going down because I've had it running for about half an hour. But on the other hand, I've tried this LED strip light stuff, which for a while I had running on the rafters here. And just to show you what happens, I mean, it's nice and bright, but pow! That puts a hurting on the battery real fast. So I don't really use that. What else? That's about it. Yeah, so this thing has just been chugging along, same single car battery. I'm sure I would get a much more satisfactory performance out of like those LED strip lights and some other things I wouldn't mind doing if I went ahead and bought a battery, but or a set of batteries is what I mean, in case you didn't get that. But anyway, it is what it is, and it's been chugging along 3 years. Renogy, you know what? I think I'll put a purchase link for it. They've updated it. I looked on Amazon, and the charge controller is improved over this one. It's still, you have the option of buying the, what is it called, MMPT something. It has to do with the pulse modulation. It's a smarter technology, costs more, or you can buy one that's just an improved version of this, which is less smart, but will do the job for a simple application. You can still get the whole kit for $100-200 or right at $200. The panel, the charge controller, the heavy-duty wire, about 20 feet of it or something like that. I still think it's a good deal. If I decide to upgrade this system, what I might do is buy another kit rather than just a panel, and this time get the kit with the smarter controller so I can try that. So, all that said, what brought me out here today was just wanting to play with my oscilloscope some more using this inverter, which is a cheap Harbor Freight. I forget how many watts this thing is. 40 watt. Oh, excuse me. 400 watt. Continuous, it says. But it's a modified sine wave, not a pure sine wave. And if you really want to see someone who knows his inverters, there's a guy named Neuralnar, and I'll try to remember to put that in the on the video later. I'll spell it out, maybe even put a link. He's great. He's an electrical engineer, and he, has built this system for running his whole house off of batteries and inverters, and it's pretty cool. So anyway, my purposes, that's a modified sine wave. That's the cheaper version. I haven't made the investment to get a pure sine wave. I'll come out here when I do and make a comparison. Right now, just interested in looking at what a modified sine wave looks like. Now that I have my oscilloscope and I have a... Well, first let's just check the voltage. It's not... It's reading 107 right now. Off the fluke. And now, let's see what kind of sine wave we get. I have my... This is a high attenuation test lead. I don't see anything sine about that. That's a square wave. Well, I guess it has the little delay right here. But yeah, so that's what you're getting out of a modified sine wave inverter. Very interesting. And let's see what kind of voltages and whatnot we're getting out of this. Alright, it's saying the RMS is 116 volts. That's interesting. I do believe that off the house current, the RMS was coming in as less than the straight average voltage that comes out of a flute. A non-RMS meter. So that's cool. But, and it's climbing to 116. So I'm going to cut it off right now and play around with it a little bit and see if I'm able to focus in and figure out any of these little edges just to see how clean they are. But right now, that's what you got with a... Here, I'll zoom in on the screen real quick. And so that's it. That's your Harbor Freight modified sine wave inverter. Alright, not having all the luck I would like to have getting the edge detail, but basically I'm trying to figure out how to zoom in, and by adjusting my time division I'm able to zoom in on it horizontally, and that's stretched out. See, now you have the exaggerated curve here, which in the other configuration just really appeared straight up and down. So I guess that's helpful in that you're starting to see some of the actual curve-like behavior. But if I try to adjust the vertical, it loses tracking. So everything just starts flying by. I'll show you. There we go. And it's no longer holding. It'll hold there. Hold there. So there's multiples of 5. Oh, that will hold. Yep, so got to figure out how I can freeze that. And maybe it's just through data logging, and then you go back and look at what you want to see, which is something else I haven't learned how to do. So, more to learn.